Well, technically we certainly had a lot of discussion to carry out with the engineers. That always happens, yes, inevitably. So the links of this car with the 8C, first of all, we had the same team, the same style center team from the 8C worked on the MiTo too, and so we were very much imbued in the Alfa Romeo culture. We work just alongside the Alfa Romeo Museum, and so we're always close to Alfa Romeo's past. And the museum, as you were saying earlier, it's the most beautiful motoring museum in the world. And the first element you see on the MiTo, an element nobody will ever be able to copy, is this three-lobed pattern, and then there are these two lines that start from the shield. The car is lengthened thanks to these two lines, and then there are these two headlights that we've taken from cars like the TZ, the 33-2 Stradale, that are really parts of Alfa's history. And we focused on having a very simple car. We didn't want any odd lines. We wanted this waistline. There was some debate about this flush glazing, but we found the engineering people willing to work on this with us. Well, yes, this is a sports coupe solution without a pillar. Yes, this element you see is one piece only, and so it sort of crushes the car a little. And then we decided not to have too many signs on the side view, because signs are something that strike you when you first look at the car, but after a while they age the car. So we worked on technical elements, the wheel arch, for instance, and this mini skirt. And then Alfa Romeos are always very sleek, very streamlined. And so, yes, these are the technical elements we focused on. Here we have the mini skirt that's applied to the body. It helps us lower the car's side view, and it also has a purpose in terms of aerodynamic results. From the rear instead, you see how well grounded the car is on its wheels. There's this pyramid shape that leads down to the wheels, and then we have the hatch door. That's another technical element that we've created the right style for. And then we have these round tail lamps. Yes, they're LEDs. They're like the 8C ones. We took them from the 8C, a very strong image in the Alfa Romeo world. Well, let's get back to Harold Wester now and hear something about MiTo's engines. Obviously, when you talk about Alfa Romeo, first and foremost you think about engines, and the engines we'll be presenting at rollout are an 120 bhp 1600 turbo diesel and 155 bhp 1400 turbo petrol unit, and some countries will also have a naturally aspirated 80 bhp engine for young people who just passed their driving license and are already thinking of getting an Alfa. All three deliver outstanding eco-friendliness. The 1600 turbo diesel has, compared to the previous generation of engines, particulate emissions that are 80% lower and CO2 emissions that are 20% better. It's the best engine in class in terms of specific torque, with its maximum torque of 320 nanometers at just 1750 revs. The engine range topper, power-wise, is the 1400 turbo petrol, another Alfa novelty that offers extraordinary performance for this size displacement. 155 bhp and 201 newton meters of maximum torque, up to 230 newton meters by using the DNA selector, with the eco-friendliness that all the new Alfas have. fuel consumption reduction and CO2 emission reduction compared to the previous generation of engines is up to 30%. And with the 155 bhp unit, Alfa Romeo's voice is back again. The intake and outlet system has been studied carefully in terms of its timbres to be able to develop the characteristic music of Alfa transient states. Yes, Alfa's it's raw. Now, these are all expert gentlemen. They know everything. And perhaps I might ask Dario, who's our engine expert. I'd ask him a question that otherwise perhaps you'd be asking us at the end of the conference. Some of these engines, the 155 bhp, for instance, have already been used successfully on other cars of our group, and so I'm sure a question might be fine. How have you made these engines real Alfa engines, turned them into Alfa engines? Could you tell us something about your experience? Well, yes, we started from an excellent basis, but we improved it. We improved it by working on a number of features. Materials, first of all. Our idea was to lighten, remove weights from components, maintaining full reliability, but we worked on special materials, for instance, a specific alloy, hyper-eutectic aluminum for pistons, and austenitic steel for the turbocharger and the exhaust manifold with a high nickel and chrome content. But we also worked, we heard about the DNA earlier, and with the DNA we've an engine that in the normal position uses settings that save fuel and CO2 emissions. If you move into the dynamic mode, the mapping, the settings are more focused on producing power, so the torque curve is more generous from 201 to 230 Newton meters, and the full sportiness of the engine is released with the accelerator pedal giving you full power. Yes, and a lot of work was done on the exhaust manifolds. Yes, this was to avoid the counter pressures and improve performance, and at the same time to develop the full timbre of the Alfa Romeo's engine voice. Well, there's another thing we haven't added so far, and I'm sure that a number of those present will be happy to hear this. The 155 bhp certainly isn't going to be the most powerful of MiTo's engines, because once again, to emphasize MiTo's position as the sportiest compact car ever, next year we'll be introducing the GTA version. GTA, once again, is a historic Alfa acronym with a power of 230 bhp, and the engineers and crew tell me that probably it will be the 4-meter car with the best dynamic performance ever made, and it'll be an 1800. No, Luca, not 1800. 1750 cc, and for those who know about Alfa history know how significant 1750 cc is. It's a second generation turbo, twin variable valve timing, 230 bhp, a very generous torque curve, a peak already well below 2,000 revs, and the GTA will have very interesting performance, acceleration from 80 to 120, for instance. It will compete even with the 8C.